Imagine a pencil point that never blunts, that goes on forever. A sharp point that magically becomes a broad flat face whenever you need to shade. Just a dream? Maybe. Every so often you might stumble upon a technique or a way of working that forever changes the way you draw. For me that was, well, let me explain. I used to adhere to the rules, the conventional idea of drawing. You sharpen your pencil to a fine point, you draw a line or two, or three, or more, and the point, as expected, rapidly wears away. So you stop to sharpen your pencil. You might do that with a pencil sharpener, which rapidly eats your expensive pencils, or with a piece of sandpaper or an emery board. Then you draw more lines. Stop to sharpen. Draw some more. Sharpen again. Draw again. Then one day I was lazy. I continued to let the point wear down. Maybe I was shading rather than drawing lines. Who knows? It was over 40 years ago. But what I learned that day really did fundamentally change the way I work. So let me introduce you to the humble but ever so versatile Chisel Point. And if you're new to my channel, I'm Mike Sibley, a professional graphite artist, and I make drawing videos here at YouTube, and many more for my Draw with Mike community. And please consider giving this video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribing. It really helps my videos reach more artists here at YouTube, and if you click the bell icon, you'll be notified every time I have a new video for you. Right, I'm going to switch to using my favourite clutch pencils here, but the Chisel Point works for any pencil type. You sharpen lead as usual, except now you only have to sharpen once a day. Maybe a couple of times at most. But now for the weird and wonderful part. Hold your pencil at your normal drawing angle. That's important. Hold your pencil as you normally do when drawing. Then deliberately scrub the point on a scrap of paper. You know the feeling of a sharp point digging into the paper? Well, scrub until that stops, until there's no resistance. Now you have an angled flat face at the angle you usually hold your pencil while drawing. That flat face need not be huge. Look, there's clearly a flat face, but the pencil still has a recognisable point. Suddenly you have three major features. You have both a flat face and a sharp edge. It's self-sharpening, as I'll explain, and you aren't breaking your concentration every few minutes to sharpen your pencil. And those features provide three major benefits. One, the flat face draws broad lines with soft edges. Edges that flow into each other as you shade. It produces areas of flat shading without visible lines. Couple that with circular shading and you can endlessly explore three-dimensional forms without once having to lift your pencil. I think of it as sculpting. Then, benefit number two, with a simple turn of the pencil, you can rotate that flat face to the sharp edge. Think of this edge as being a sharp point, only this sharp point extends half the way around the tip. When I'm drawing, you might have noticed that I keep rotating my pencil. That's to ensure I'm using the sharp edge, which bites into the paper and fills the tooth. You know whether you need to turn it because of the feedback. you can feel the resistance as you pull the edge across the paper. So turn it when it begins to move too easily. Of course, if you're using a sharp point, you have to stop to sharpen it. But when the edge of a chisel point begins to wear, you simply rotate the pencil slightly to use the fresh part. Then, benefit 3, when that edge is finally exhausted, well, the chisel point is self-sharpening. Simply scrub the flat face, and that sharpens the edge. In fact, you're automatically sharpening the edge whenever you shade with the flat face. And that means you can lose yourself in your work, be away with the fairies, in the zone, whatever you call it, because you hardly ever need to stop to sharpen your pencil. And finally, although you quickly get used to the feel of the point on your paper, it's either resistant to movement or smoothly gliding, it might help to know visually where those two optimum positions are. And you can do that by holding your pencil in a certain way. With Woodcase, you can use the position of the writing on the side of the pencil or the grade mark to display the flat face. And in my case, I use the clip on my clutch pencil to achieve the same thing. So there you are, the chisel point. The pencil point of your dreams, one that fulfills every need in every situation. And you don't even have to stop drawing to sharpen it. So do let me know in the comments if this was helpful, and maybe share your own preferred point too. And don't forget to check the video description below. I sometimes have free PDFs to download, and you can find out about my very popular 8-week drawing courses for beginners and beyond. And read the positive reviews from artists I've taught over the past 20 years. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.